Hola YouTube, bienvenido a la Isla Maravilla de Puerto Rico. What's up YouTube? Welcome to Puerto Rico. So for today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wilderness, you guessed it, we're going to be exploring the beautiful wilds of the island. Now, if we look around, you can already hear so much wildlife, but I do think that we're going to find a lot more later at night. So without further ado, make sure you go get your flashlight because we're about to go explore tonight. Alright, so it looks like we're back at the same spot many hours later, and as you can tell, it's kind of dark. Anyway, so already we can hear all around us. There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters that are already crawling out now that it's gotten dark out. So I think if we keep on trailblazing ahead, I'm pretty sure we're going to run into some different kind of stuff out here. So let's trek on up. There's so much stuff out here, it's crazy. Literally like every under minute, something's whacking in me in the face. Woo! Hello, what have we here? Whoa, already you can tell there's so much stuff out here. It's crazy. Literally every single step, something's moving in front of me. It's amazing. Especially since it rained in between the last time we came out here. Yeah, you can tell. And just listening around, you can hear so many of the critters. All we gotta do is keep on hiking and hope that one's gonna decide to call out close enough to the trail and we can try to catch him. So, let's head on up. Check it out. It's a neobug. I'm telling you, these guys are crawling everywhere. I've had to brush off a few earlier when I was setting out my sleeping bag for the night. And yeah, it's kind of cool that, you can find something this big out here, but at the same time, not always the best kind of thing you want to find in your sleeping bag when you're trying to sleep at night, but still, really cool that we could find a neobug all the way out here. And I'm pretty sure there are going to be plenty more while else we keep on walking along. So we'll just go ahead and put him back in the brush. And we'll keep on moving on. Got him. This is what we've been hearing all the time out here. Literally, you can hear their chorus in the thousands. There must be thousands of these guys out here. They're so common. And yeah, I'm so glad we actually were able to catch a swamp frog finally. So, let's talk about the little guy. These guys are everywhere. They're common, and the way their chorus works is that once one starts to call out, it can essentially call out more into their area, and then it can then call again to hop away, and another frog will then take its place to hop out, and then resume its chorus. So once you hear one, you're sure to hear some more frogs in the area real soon. So yeah, listen around. They are calling everywhere, and just their ability to swarm and get other frogs out onto the area, other species as well. Just not just swap frog. You can also see stuff like dupe frog, ronin toadin, and then if you're lucky or unlucky, if you're the prey, you can catch some totally awesomes out there as well. But yeah, swap frog, these guys are everywhere, and they're honestly one of my favorite species that you can find out here. I mean, just listen to the little guys. They're so cute, their calls, and then even looking at them, they're real cute as well. So really cool that we were able to find one out here. So I think before we spook the little guy, we'll go ahead and put him back on his leaf so he can keep on calling out. All right, let's get out of the thicket a little bit, shall we? Wow, that was a lot. And it's so crazy how many frogs we're actually hearing out here right now. So, for those of you who've never been to the Caribbean before, specifically Puerto Rico, what you're actually hearing around us is the coqui frog. So, you can find these everywhere across the island, and in the millions. Now, the call itself is actually a two-part message. So if you can hear right now the ko, the first part of the male call, that is the male establishing its territory in a certain area, saying, hey, I am being right here, this is my leaf, this is my branch, this is where I'm going to stake out my territory. And the second part, the ki, is to call out to the females, because obviously the guys are looking for the ladies, that's what they're doing tonight. So yes, the call is two parts. First part's for the other guys to let them know that, hey, this is my spot, and then the second part is to let them know that, ladies, my shop's open for business. But you can find these guys all over the place, and it's really cool, and they're really cute little frogs when you get to look at them. So a lot of times people, when they assume a tropical frog species, they usually will think of a more brandish color, like greens, reds and stuff. So that more so you're going to see in the poison dart frogs down in South America. But you do have some other color variants across the tropics. But in terms of more nocturnal species, those colors don't help too much because you're in the dark, and for the most part, your predators aren't using their sight to find you. They're using other senses to look around for you. So a more plain color usually helps them out in hiding in the leaf litter. Now, let's talk a little bit more about frogs in general, because for me personally, I do enjoy herpetology very, very much, as in the study of reptiles and amphibians. So, one problem that is really troubling a lot of the world's frogs currently is what we call chytrid fungus. And if you guessed it already, yes, it's a fungus that attacks the frogs, and oftentimes it is a fatal infection that a lot of species will not be able to tolerate. And frogs are a very important species across the planet because they're amphibians, therefore they need a both aquatic and terrestrial lifestyle. So, it's a good indicator to know, is your water clean? And then also to know how healthy is your environment, because as we all know, frogs are coming from tadpoles, right? They need clean water to grow and live in. And another cool thing about frogs, they control insects because, yeah, there are a lot of them here in the tropics, and I'm pretty sure a lot elsewhere across the world. No matter where you go, you're going to have a lot of insects. So one of the great controls for them are all these frogs. So without frogs, more bugs. So I'm pretty sure not many of you want to get bit every single day, like 20 times in just one spot. So yeah, frogs do play a very critical role in the environment, and they're also very good environmental indicators. That's why it's really crucial in maintaining their conservation status and monitoring their populations for stuff like chytrid fungus, and then other habitat threats such as deforestation and climate change. Now, across the world, one of the big factors of climate change is changing water levels, flooding, and all these stuff, because if you're in a certain wetland area and you're receiving more flooding in that wetland, a lot of times you can count on it that the mortality rate in the tadpoles that are hatched in that wetland are drastically increased. And when you're talking about a species where maybe out of 100 eggs, only maybe at best 10 make it to adulthood, those numbers could go from 10 to 1. And over time, populations can decrease. So that's why it's really important to keep in mind. Do what you can to help against climate change, and then also if you're interested in more direct ways to help with amphibian conservation or tropical conservation here in Puerto Rico, I have some links down in the description below which you guys can feel free to check out. And then as always, please feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below in what do you think of the series? I mean, it's a lot different than the last 2 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wilderness, right? Anyway, ya estoy listo para ir. I'm all set, ready to go. You guys have a great evening, and I'm gonna keep on heading out and looking for more cookies.